we go. And I think we're live. Hey there, gang. Welcome to the Missouri Freedom Initiative. It is Saturday, the 25th of June, 2022. Give us a 5x5. Let us know if you can hear us. And sorry about my appearance tonight, gang. I got off work here kind of late and didn't really have time to clean up or anything. So just shield your eyes. 5x5 from Casey Rich, who is with us also in the live chat. I'd like to say hello to Casey Rich as well as John, who is the Missouri Liberty Report guy. Okay, gotcha. B&H has given us a 5x5 as well. Okay, good deal. Sheraton Farmers here. R.G. Merkel's here. Let's see. Good evening, fellow Missouri heathens. Warrior Class is with us too. Hey there, Warrior. Okay. All right, gang. I'll tell you what, as everyone's kind of getting in and getting comfortable, first thing I'm going to announce, let you guys know, next Saturday, there will not be a live stream, just so you know, but there will be the Saturday after that. So let's see. I didn't know we were going live tonight, Liberty says. Liberty will probably come in here in just a little bit. Yep. Yep. Let's see. And RG Merkel says, let me share this on my Facebook page. Give me a sec. Okay, no problem. Hey, I thought while we're assembling here, I would talk just a little bit about the trigger law in Missouri that went along with Roe v. Wade. And I know we haven't talked about this much, but it literally went along with the heartbeat bill that happened in 2018 in the state of Missouri. So let me tell you what happened. I know a blow-by-blow, play-by-play that I heard from a good friend that our Solicitor General got an email from a friend of ours at, I think it was about 8:30 in the morning yesterday, telling him to get ready to activate the trigger. And John, what's his name? I can't remember our Solicitor General's name. But the Attorney General and Solicitor General were ready for it. There was an announcement at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. That's 9 a.m. Central. And by 9:15, our governor had signed the trigger. You know, the trigger was complete. What does that mean for the state of Missouri as far as abortion goes? It's actually very, very simple. In Missouri, no woman can have an abortion unless her life is in danger. That's it. So that's what Missouri did. There's 13 states altogether. We're one of 13. So 12 other states have the same law that we do. They had a trigger clause built into law. We did it in what's called the heartbeat bill. And the Democrats let that right through because they said, hey, they're never going to get rid of Roe v. Wade because that was what the trigger was. So at any rate, so we're about to see another summer of love, in my opinion. I don't want to talk about that much on YouTube, but there's going to be another summer of love. And that's what this really brings about at this point is some people that are very angry about Roe v. Wade being overturned. But I wanted to let you guys know that in the state of Missouri now, literally as of 9:15 Friday morning, yesterday morning, that would be the 24th of June, the only abortions that are legal in the state of Missouri is where the woman's health is threatened by the pregnancy. And we're talking about physical health, not mental health. So, yeah, we'll talk about the new gun stuff too. So welcome to Robert Smith, who is also with us. I know he's traveling. So thank you for making the effort to come in, even though you're traveling, buddy.
You're welcome, Patrick. Thanks for the invite, as always.
You bet. You bet. Okay.
I do appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. So now we should talk a little bit about the gun tyranny happening in D.C. I don't have all the facts that I need in front of me, but SEPA, or the Second Amendment, and we switch gears now, by the way, gang. Unless any of you have any questions about the trigger law, throw them in the comment section or whatever, and I'll be very happy to answer them to the best of my ability. It's done and over with. I mean, it's a done deal, and it's part of our Constitution. So it would take a lot to change it. So women in Missouri that would like to get an abortion will probably need to drive to Illinois. where they have some very liberal policies there. I do believe they allow for abortions up to 7 months in Illinois. I think that's right. So, and they have to pay for it with their own money. So they won't be able to use their insurance across state lines for that. With what happened with Roe v. Wade, I think. Okay, yeah, let's talk about guns. Well, that's a fun subject. Guys, I've said over and over again, okay, so now we're into the good stuff, right? Over and over again, SEPA was a sexy project to work on. But it wasn't just a sexy subject and a sexy project. It protected us from a lot of things, and one of those things was red flag laws. Now, Washington, D.C. thinks they have outsmarted us with what they're doing right now in Congress. They think they're smarter than we are because they're saying, well, we're not going to do any red flag laws from D.C. What we're going to do is we're going to set up this new bill where we're going to give the states a feces load of cash if they will set up red flag laws and conduct them themselves with their own state's law enforcement. That's essentially what it is. Let's see. And Liberty, you're welcome, man. Come on in. But the gun stuff is definitely one I should have been here for. Yeah, sorry about that, man. I didn't put up the YouTube thing until literally, was it 6 o'clock almost, about an hour and a half before we started. Because I left early for work this morning. So at any rate, that's what's going on with that. Okay, so let's get back to Missouri and Second Amendment Preservation Act, along with, and I wish Liberty were here, because we have the Fifth Amendment to the Missouri Constitution. In combination with SEPA, would make it very difficult to do red flag laws here in the state of Missouri. So an example of this is the PDMP laws that were passed in 2021. It actually has a clause in there that it doesn't apply to firearms. The only problem is it also says in there that they follow Medicare rules and HIPAA law. And HIPAA law said, that it's got to include, firearms. And we're talking about Prescription Drug Monitoring Program, PDMP. So I'm open. Liberty's at the Waffle House. Gotcha. So I'm open to discussion on this, but I don't think it's going to be easy to incorporate red flag laws into the state of Missouri now, because once again, our Second Amendment Preservation Act and our Fifth Amendment to the Missouri Constitution make it very difficult. Liberty agrees with me. Red flags are effectively outlawed in the state of Missouri, but we're the only ones. Again, guys, SEPA came in with the red cape and protected us from the red flag laws that we knew were coming. We knew they were coming. I remember, we'll go into general conversation here in a second, gang. I remember talking to people in law enforcement in the state of Missouri because I work for them. I'm a for hire IT consultant, and I do work. Used to do a lot of work for a lot of law enforcement. That's not the way it is so much anymore. But they said, nah, red flag laws are never coming. They're never coming. We don't need SEPA. And I said, well, if red flag laws are never coming, and if you say you won't enforce them, even if they do, even though people change over time at sheriff's offices and police departments, then why not just support the law? Since you'd never support, red flag laws anyway, why not support the SEPA law? Well, because we won't enforce any red flag laws. It's the snake eating its own tail. It's circular reasoning. As long as they, said at the time, but once again, this is pre-SEPA passage, they said this department will not enforce red flag laws. Well, now look what's happening. Washington, D.C., if we didn't have SEPA right now, you don't think that Missouri law enforcement would be, clamoring to get some of this money? Of course they would. They would be enforcing the red flag laws for the money. It's like any, I don't know, prostitution. The oldest profession. They go where the money is, right? So at any rate, I'm not too worried about any of the red flag laws right now, because we're effectively protected now between SEPA and the Fifth Amendment to the Missouri Constitution, and that was adopted the same year we got constitutional carry, permitless carry, and that I believe was 2016. So It's already in the books in the Missouri statute, Missouri Constitution, and we have SEPA on top of that. So Liberty's saying, yep, they want to dump that money into police unions. Yep. Well, once again, they won't be able to do red flag laws, so I don't think they're going to offer them any money. But we'll see. Okay, guys, we'll open it up for larger conversation. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hog it all up for the first 10 minutes. So if you guys have any questions, comments about the red flag laws that are imminent from D.C., from Congress, I don't think Biden's been trying to do anything of that from the bully pulpit. But, Congress, and in fact, the rhinos that we have in Congress, Roy Blunt, of course, Roy Blunt, he invented rhino, Republican in name only, along with John McCain, in my opinion. But Roy Blunt signed, he couldn't get to the table to sign that fast enough. So there's got to be something in it for him. Roy Blunt clearly doesn't care about his legacy. He cares about money. That's all he cares about. That's it. Usually at the end of someone's career, they generally try to do the right thing. At the end of their career in a job, they want to go out and have a great legacy. Yeah, that's not Roy Blunt's concern, trust me. And Roy, if you're watching, please just leave. I meant retire early, leave the seat vacant, for the next 4, 5, 6 months. Just leave. Okay, so W says the GOP gun betrayal in the U.S. Senate is directly responsible, the direct responsibility of Mitch McConnell. Yep, true. Leadership definitely had a lot to do with that. Roy Blunt took his marching orders from McConnell. In the upcoming GOP primary, we have McConnell lovers. Okay, well, we'll see what we can do about that. We don't pay much attention to the federal side of things. We're protected, and we're continuing to be protected. And I want to talk about that tonight as well. Forgive the flies, guys. I live next to a cow pasture that's next door. Next door is literally about 80 feet from where I'm sitting right now. Anytime I open up a door around this house, flies get in. Let's see. The rhinos are the biggest issue, and they're our own worst enemies. They are, R.G. Merkel says. And we want to talk about that tonight, too, because that's part of what we're doing these questionnaires for. Guys, we're getting questionnaires returned already. And we still have some to get out, and I've done a lot of work on that area, and our very own Voodoo Queen is helping out quite a bit as well. So we're getting them to everyone who's running for the House and everyone who's running for the Senate, whether they're an incumbent or not. They're getting one, even if they're the only one running. They're getting one. So I've covered almost 60 districts now. In fact, I've covered 60 districts, and I continue working on that. And Goatfoot Grant, our very own Goatfoot Grant, is going to help me out with that next week as well. Let's see. So basically, the reason why those questionnaires are so important is because a rhino will read that questionnaire and know that there's some issues in the state of Missouri that surround them. They are the source of the problem, the source of the infection. If you read the questionnaire, I mean, you pretty much get it pretty quickly. So and I'm not going to say how many we've gotten back yet or who has returned theirs yet. I did make an announcement when Casey Pemberton returned his, because he was the very first person to return a questionnaire. So that's the only name I ever threw out. But since he was the first one, I thought it was kind of a notable announcement. Okay, so apart from that and apart from the questionnaires, general discussion, guys. You guys have any comments, questions?
Can I throw in something about those questionnaires?
Sure.
Another good thing that's going to be about them, when we get them back, we can find out more about these candidates. And then whichever ones do happen to get elected, like we go to look for someone to shop our bills to that we might put out next year. Mm-hmm. Man, we already got this kind of laying out everything, say, okay, this person supported that or whatever. So
that's actually a really good point.
To start finding people. It is.
Yep. And just to let you guys know, we're on it early this year for the gold and silver bill for next year. So right. we're on it early. So don't worry about it. It will be pre-filed, and there's a lot of help coming in. So there's cavalry coming in to help us out with that. So that's wonderful. I think it's going to get broad support anyway across the aisle. It's very powerful. It's gotten attention with the Libertarian Party. The entire Libertarian caucus nationwide is looking at our bill, or I'm sorry, the outline. I shouldn't say the bill because it's not in bill form. It will be soon, though. And there's Gary Ride. Hey there, Gary. And Gary has also volunteered to help with sending out these questionnaires, too. And Gary, I'll get with you actually sometime tomorrow. So thank you very much for offering. It's a lot of people to hit, and it's a big job, but we're getting it done. And like I said, we're already getting them back. So these guys are, these Missouri politicians and people running for office, these candidates are taking it very seriously. And so good deal. Let's see. W says, this new Fed gun law changes the definition of who an FFL is. They don't want to force more citizens to be required to put transactions on the record. SEPA offers no protection from this betrayal. That is correct. SEPA is for the state only, and it doesn't deal with FFLs. So you would be correct in that assumption. Now, originally, if you guys remember, Jimmy and I talked about a state firearms license. However, that's being rethought. We have to approach it properly if we approach it at all. So at any rate, W, that is on my mind. Yep, I agree with you. There's an issue there. Rhino76 says, I can't believe they put Roy Blunt's name on a building in Columbia. I didn't know about that. And wow. Wow. So a rhino's being celebrated on a building in Columbia, Missouri. If you're meeting Columbia, South America, actually, I would understand that. But Columbia, Missouri, no, they shouldn't be doing that. Let's see. They changed the Liberty says also they changed the definition of doing business in firearms. Yep. Now, people have already approached me on this. I've gotten a lot of phone calls and emails from folks saying, oh, geez, what if they change it to 21 in Missouri? Well, it'll be 21 through an FFL, but it will not be for private transactions. That law will not apply to the state of Missouri. If the ATF wants to come marching into Missouri and go after, 18-year-olds that have long guns, I guess they're welcome to. But according to our SEPA law, the sheriff has to protect, these 18-year-olds because in Missouri, 18-year-old, you're allowed to have the gun. So it's time for us to start looking at altering Missouri's firearm laws, guys, and we'll talk about that after the primaries are over. So let's keep our focus. The questionnaires are primary concern right now for us, getting them out and getting them all back in and getting them on our website and available for everyone to see, which would be around July 19th. I don't want to say that exact date it's all gonna be done, but around that time frame. I should have them up on the site. So, but yeah, there's other things we'll be approaching after that's done. I got to keep my focus. With how little time I have to work with right now, I got to stay focused. But for folks out there that are wondering about how Missouri is going to be affected, because it does look like D.C. is about to shove through some more absolutely atrocious freedom stealing, Second Amendment infringements, they just don't apply here. They do, I guess, to a certain extent with FFLs. But that's it. So, okay. That's fitting for Columbia, says Liberty Revolutionary. Well, don't they have a communist mayor in Columbia? Isn't that correct? Can someone correct me on that? Anyone? I think they actually have a mayor that identifies as a communist in Columbia.
I don't know about that.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see.
Even in Columbia.
Yep. Yeah, right now neither Hartzler nor Schmidt will denounce McConnell. Yep. Yeah, that's the same old political game. A little bit of rhinoism going on there. Ganai says, yes, we do. So I think that is correct. He actually does. And by the way, he did appear, remember at that hearing you were at, Casey Rich? To get rid of HCR 79, he was there. Yep.
Yes.
So yep. Go ahead.
Communists are stepping up.
Yep, they are.
We should add more conservatives and libertarians there.
We can't let the communists get all the airtime and get all the print. No, we can't.
Let the communists one up you.
Yep.
We better not see that next year.
Yep. And by the way, it is interesting that we agreed with a communist, but we only agreed partway with him. We want to leave the actual petition, the names that are needed to get something on the ballot the same. What we want to do is change it on the other side where the vote is and how many districts have to get a simple majority. That's what we want to do. That will take care of the problem. And it will still leave us with the freedom of getting an idea in front of the voters in case the General Assembly doesn't want to do it. Grant said they do. Yep. Okay. Yeah, so he's probably a communist. I hate to use that word so loosely. I do use it loosely, but I do think he actually identifies as a communist, the mayor of Columbia. So, yeah, so hopefully they can't, come after me for libel, because I do believe he actually says that, or calls himself an anarcho-communist or something like that. Okay, so that's the state of Missouri right now for the gun bill. The only thing they can do to affect us is through the FFLs. That's it. They can't change the laws in Missouri because we don't follow federal law. And like I said, we should look into doing a few things next year. For instance, noise suppressors. I don't see any reason why we need to have that stamp anymore. So it's time to make those legal without a tax stamp in the state of Missouri, in my opinion. I don't want to throw too many bills in for next year. Gold and silver will be the primary bill. We'll have other things we support, as usual. If we have another bill to get rid of civil asset forfeiture, I think we need to pay attention to that as well. 2118, if something like that comes up again, Stand Your Ground Enhancement Act.
It will.
Yep. We need to, get behind that. Guys, this is one of the beautiful things. Here we sit and, it's nice and it's on YouTube and we're live and everything and we're talking about what we want to do next year. But Missouri is a very, very special place. And we're starting to root out the rhinos. I call them the fascists. They know we know. And we know they know that we know. That they're literally fascist. And we're calling them out. And there's more to come after the primary is over. There's more plans in the works. I don't want to talk about them right now. But Goatfoot and I have a little project to work on together in that regard. As we root out these rhinos in the Missouri State Legislature and bring light into the darkness in the Missouri Legislature as far as these fascists are concerned. And, we just let everyone know what they are. We don't lie. We don't exaggerate. We just literally point out the facts. That's all we really need to do. But during a election year, we have a chance to get rid of some of them. So that's why these questionnaires are so incredibly important, by the way. They're kind of like anti-rhino questionnaires. So there's, some questions in there that'll let us know whether or not that they're a rhino. And we can figure it out. They don't even know which questions they are, but probably not anyway. I suspect that if a rhino sees it or understands the questionnaire, they won't return one. That's my guess. And I will say one more thing. I have not received a single one back from a Democrat yet. So I'll give you guys that. So let's see. Does Missouri do no-knock warrants? Not for guns, they don't. They've done. I know for a fact that they will do no-knock warrants on very serious situations. With what do they call it again? When people are making their own drugs. What do they call that again? Crack labs or something like that? I don't know.
Meth labs, yeah.
Yeah, meth labs. Yeah, there you go.
Entrepreneurship.
I'm sorry, Robert, you're breaking up on us pretty bad. Okay. So I do know that they will do them in that context. But I'm not sure that they will do no-knock warrants for anything having to do with firearms. Some of that's $50,000 per firearm, per incident, per person. That adds up really quick. Let's see. Assuming we make it to the next session, Ganai says, "Oh, I think we'll make it to the next session. We'll just because Missouri will be just fine if there's damage to Kansas City and St. Louis because of the mostly peaceful protesting going on. By the way, the feds still have power of the threat. They may not have manpower to widely enforce the law's regs, but they have the capability to make examples. How many would take the change? They'll do it at FFLs. I'm not real sure they're going to do it to individuals. And I know people like to cite the Kansas case as an example of that. If you guys remember, in the state of Kansas, there was a guy who was making, I believe it was noise suppressors. And one of those left the state, and they used that as an excuse to go in, with their SEPA thing. Even with the SEPA, the ATF went in and they just made an example of that guy. But at the same time, someone would not be illegally making anything and would not be responsible for anything they make in the state of Missouri as long as it's legal in the state of Missouri if it left, unless they shipped it themselves or drove it across the border themselves. So I think they'll be okay. What do y'all think about Schmidt proclaiming abortion banned in Missouri? Let's see. Well, Eric Schmidt is correct. Abortion is banned in Missouri with the exception, and by the way, show me the truth. Thank you for the question. We talked about this at the beginning of the program, and I gave a timeline, and so for about the first 5 minutes, we covered all the details. But basically, the only abortions that are allowed in the state of Missouri now are when the woman's physical health is threatened by the pregnancy, and that's it. That's it. Not even rape or incest abortions are allowed in the state of Missouri now. Let's see. At this point, I'll be happy when I see political parasites kicking and gurgling from overpasses. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Let's see. They don't have the personnel to enforce it themselves. I agree with Liberty. They would have to commit like all of the ATF's forces to the state of Missouri to be able to do anything here. I mean, Liberty's right. We actually have numbers on that. I think they have 1,800 actual agents that do the work, do the physical work, and that's it. That's all they have. Yep. Okay. All right. Once again, open discussion, gang. Anything you guys want to cover? Any questions you guys have about the federal gun laws they're trying to get done or anything like that? Nothing you guys can think of? Okay. All right. Questions. I'll continue doing the stuff on the YouTube. So let's see. They don't have the personnel to enforce. Schmidt. Okay. So W saying that even Schmidt won't denounce McConnell right now. That's interesting. That's interesting. We'll see what Schmidt does in the near future. Okay, at this point, I'll be happy to see. Okay, I read that one. And then, of course, Warrior Class 3, Liberty Revolutionary. Amen. Okay, gotcha. All right, we're 100% caught up, gang. So, let you guys know, just for now anyway. Let's see. What can us Missourians do to get House rules changed? Ganai, we're working on that, and that's with the questionnaires. Once again, I don't want to say a whole lot about the questionnaires because anyone who's watching this that has not turned in their questionnaire yet, I don't want to give them any ideas. Because no one's seeing anyone's questionnaire. I have access to all of them, and it's not shared. So they're all coming direct to me. And so at any rate, I would say that the questionnaires is a big part of that, of changing the House rules, believe it or not. That's why those questionnaires, one of the reasons why they're so important. Isn't Biden giving the ATF massive infusion of cash, though? I do believe he is. We'll see what he does. At least that's what he intends to do. We'll see if Congress gives him the money. So I suppose if they're all voting yes on that red flag bill, they'll give him the money. So maybe they hire more people at the ATF, and then they come into Missouri and start setting up shop, and then we call our sheriffs on the ATF every time we see them anywhere. Let's see. Joel Edwards is in the house. Hey there, Joel. Once again, thank you for all that you do for those of us in Missouri, especially concerning our Second Amendment rights. You're welcome, Joel. Join us because we have a lot more to do about our right to bear arms in the state of Missouri. We have just begun, and we already have the best laws in the entire United States, bar none, because our laws are the Fed's laws need not apply. They don't apply to us here. So now that's not true with FFLs, but that is true for citizens. So if those of you want to get technical, will they hire more personnel with those funds? Anything's possible, Rhino. We'll have to see what they do. Biden just gave the IRS a boatload of different caliber ammunition. I know the IRS, Social Security. You guys remember back in 2012 and all that ammunition and AR-15s were going to Social Security? And then they ended up missing. Not only did they go to Social Security, all the ammo and the AR-15s, that's right, AR-15s, went missing. Well, we know where they went. To the Syrian rebels who became ISIS. So that's where all that went, all that firepower that was purchased for Social Security. Is there an ATF office in Kansas City, possibly St. Louis? Ganai, I do believe there was. I'm not sure if they're hanging out with us anymore. They can't be so...
There's one in Kansas City.
Okay. So they're still chumming out with the sheriff's department up there, or with the local police?
Hey, Patrick, you're cutting out, man.
Oh,
Am I the only one you're cutting out on, or?
No, he's cutting out with me too.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's like I hear like half your sentence. I couldn't understand what you were saying.
Okay, is the ATF still chumming around with the sheriff's department or the police department up there?
Oh, that I don't know.
They shouldn't be. There's a fine for that.
Well, I mean, they can't go out on any raids with them, but I mean, as far as contact and talking to each other.
Yeah, but they can't share intel either.
Yeah.
So anything along those lines is suspect, isn't it?
I guess they can talk about the weather.
They can talk about the weather.
Not much else.
Yeah.
Not much else.
Yeah. And in Missouri, that can be a long conversation sometimes.
Yeah. Especially when you can't talk about anything else.
Okay, and let's see. If anyone has any questions about the gold and silver bill, we'll be getting ready for that'll be pre-filed in December, by the way, the gold and silver bill. So we'll get that pre-filed. But we are going forward with that, and we're going forward very early with it. And the Mises Caucus is going to help us out with that a little bit, along with several other people. So, yeah. That's a big deal, gang. That's a big deal. That gold and silver bill actually is. Go ahead.
Are we still looking for somebody to sponsor that bill, or are we going to have shopping around, or
Nope. I've already got a sponsor in the Senate, and in the House, I have first choice, second choice, third choice.
You know, it'd be really good.
What's that?
If we could drum up some, I don't know, for they even get filed or pre-filed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Drum that thing up real good, and maybe we can get people to be ready to co-sponsor that thing as soon as it comes out.
Yep. Well, we'll do that. We got to get it pre-filed first, and also too, we'll start a campaign for it as well. Actually, there's a guy that you guys know quite well, and you're quite close to him. That will be helping out with that effort as well. So, let's see. God, Family, and Guns called a month ago or so. Ganai, there's an ATF office. Okay, he called them a month ago. Okay, God, Family, and Guns. Let's see. I can hear him on the side of things. Bet there's an office in St. Louis City. There's probably an office in St. Louis. St. Louis would be friendly to the ATF. Very, very friendly. Kansas City, I suspect, too. Yep. So, guys, do not worry about what the Fed's doing right now. I know that it's a cause for concern, but we have an enormous amount of protections in place right now. Certainly enough for the Fed to miss the mark on trying to get it done state by state with basically, let's call it what it is. It's it's almost blackmail. Basically it's extortion. Here, states, You know, here's a whole bunch of money for your law enforcement. All you have to do for this is actually get some red flag laws done in your state. And by the way, we have to have the General Assembly back up and running to even try to do red flag laws anyway. But I think everyone in the General Assembly knows that that's not going to work because of the Fifth Amendment to the Missouri Constitution along with SEPA. So I wouldn't worry too much about that one. I bet you can get an ATF official faster than Missouri Highway Patrol officer to a fatal MVA. I know for a fact that's true. That's possible. Thankfully, I've never been in that situation. American Patriot, hello. And I thank all of you guys for coming in tonight, by the way. I said at the very beginning when I started today, there will be no live stream next Saturday night. I will be out of town. But the Saturday after that, and I can get you, hang on, I can get you the date. Dang flies. That would be, let's see, July 9th. July 9th will be our next live stream. And we should have a lot more data on what's going on with the questionnaires by that time. But remember now, it's the 19th is the last day they have to send them in. And so, and I'm not making them public until the 19th. So probably the evening of the 19th. And I did announce who was the first one to submit a questionnaire. That was Casey Pemberton. And I will probably announce who was the last person to get a questionnaire in. So I'll let you guys know that stuff. But I'm keeping that kind of close to the vest so that basically everyone has time. And not all the politicians have gotten them yet, but they're coming in. They are definitely being emailed in. Do you know Wayne Hoffman, the Idaho Freedom Foundation? I think he's one you should speak to regarding rhinos. I'm not in your state, but might be moving there, so I want to pass on that info to you. Thank you for the info. There is a guy I know in Idaho, and he's working with me just a little bit on something there, a little project there, but not a whole lot right now because they're in recess like we are. Let's see. Are we going to stick with Gilded just for now? I really need to be back and have my head clear and look at the options before we make a final decision where we're staying. I don't think we're going to stick with Gilded, though, because they don't have a working phone app. Not for a live stream, they don't. For that reason alone. Telegram is one that we're strongly considering, by the way. It's a difficult one, basically when you first get into it, but it's easy after you learn it. That's one possibility, but there's some drawbacks with Telegram, too. There's several people that have asked if we would go back to Discord, and I'm going to have to say no. Discord is not a good place to go. I love them. I love their platform and everything, but I'm not going to put up with their rules. So
The Team Talk's another one to look at.
Yeah, Team Talk. Yep, that's another one. Yep. So, once again, we can stream to any platform, and you guys know we're going to Odyssey. I remember I've already announced that. We're on YouTube right now, but very soon we'll be moving to Odyssey. I just got to get some stuff off my plate and get all my traveling done and all my work done out of state, and that'll be in about the middle of August. I should, have my head back together and be back here with the Missouri thing. And the primary season's going on right now, so we'll stay focused on the questionnaires. And then we have stuff to do during the campaign season for the general as well, for the general election. Okay, does anyone have any more questions or anything else like that? Any of you came in late? Next live stream will be on July 9th. What happened with Discord? Seems like as soon as I signed up, you guys lost your platform there. They didn't tell us. But it feels very personal because I was an admin on two Discord servers. I started two. Truth, Money, and Freedom, I started with some other guys. And then that Discord server got shut down first. And a week and a half later, the Missouri Freedom Initiative server went down as well. The same day Missouri Freedom Initiative went down in Discord, also we lost our Twitter. The Twitter account was deactivated. So I was able to get Twitter back up. By the way, that's a really good platform. If you guys, once again, they don't censor anything like Facebook. Facebook is by far the worst platform for censorship. I mean, they censor the feces out of everything on Facebook. Second worst is YouTube, by the way. Twitter is just not in that realm. There's a lot of stuff you can do on Twitter. I can talk about the beer flu and the serum till the cows come home on Twitter, and I'm not censored. And we're growing rapidly on Twitter, very quickly. So they like us there. So we're getting a lot of friends there. Robert Smith, you should start a podcast about the Ninth Amendment, like our partner, the 10th Amendment Center. So, Robert, well, then again, Robert's running for political office, so he may not want to start another venture. But the Ninth Amendment is a very nice amendment, and we use that as well. It's little talked about, but it's similar to the 10th Amendment, except having to do with states' rights. The Ninth Amendment is more on personal rights. Twitter has back off a lot since the Elon stuff. Yep, that's true, RG. That's true. Since Elon looks like he might be taking over. So that would be correct. That's a big part of it too. Well, guys, we are the only state in the union that's like safe from all this crap going on in DC right now. So a lot of people may want to, if they start, doing this crap, a lot of people may decide they want to move to Missouri so they can exercise their Second Amendment rights. How do you find us on Twitter? We're Missouri Freedom Initiative. Just do a search for Missouri Freedom Initiative on Twitter. And actually, I'll put a link up for our Twitter right into the live stream. And also, it's right down in the description section. You can see us there, too. We is right there in the description section. So far, heard anyway, don't use Twitter. Just not had a use for it. Actually, it's kind of a neat little platform. It's addictive, though. I mean, it's very addictive for me personally. I mean, I shouldn't be allowed in a room that has a computer with Twitter sometimes. But it is fun. It's addictive. It works. And we're growing crazy fast on Twitter. Let's see. I hope some of those recently passed rules are challenged in court. Well, we'll see. Yeah, Missouri Liberty, yeah, it's actually real close. There's a T. I think there's a T before the 2 for the handle. I'll take a quick look here. Yep. Copy. You were close, Liberty. There's the handle on Twitter. Is anyone going to primary Plocker? No, there's no one primarying Plocker. So Plocker in the general, though, we'll see what we can do about him. But he's far too powerful. I mean, there's really nothing we can do. He's got too many rich friends. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Is there anything else you guys can think of that didn't get covered or anything else like that? I just missed it in the description. Okay. Yeah, it's in the description section as well. And also it's right there. I just posted it. So just wanted to keep you guys up to date, let you know what's still going on. The questionnaires, I'm spending, those of you who are on Gilded with us, I've been posting in there what I've been doing with the questionnaires. So that's, Twitter's very addictive. I've got to over 5,000 followers before they shut me down. Oh, that sucks, man. They didn't even give me a reason. I followed their rules. It happened before Elon took over. Yep, if you posted anything pre-Elon about beer flu serum problems, Yeah. So are you back on? If you are, let's follow each other, American Patriot. So Casey Rich is on there too, but he doesn't get on very often. I get on. I try to get on Twitter once a day, and that, like I said, that's kind of an addiction for me. But I don't have a whole lot of time, so I don't. If I'm on the phone a lot, and if I have the ability, I'll get on Twitter while I'm on the phone, and I'm on the phone a lot, gang, and I mean a
Oh my
lot.
goodness.
Yeah. So if there's a computer in front, yeah, I know.
Twitter's a dumpster fire.
But it's an addictive dumpster fire.
I can't get into. I have been on it in a month probably.
It's like triple ice cream, chocolate dumpster fire. Twitter is.
Oh my goodness.
It's not good for you, but it tastes so good. Let's see. A good source for grading representatives is Conservative Review. They give a conservative grade backed up with reference to their voting record. That sounds good, man. We'll be taking a look at that. The primaries, in my opinion, you got a lot of folks that are running for office that have never been in office before. So Conservative Review is great for the incumbents. So we should take a look at that after the primaries are over. And that way we can, go a little bit further with vetting people who are running for office in the state of Missouri. There's a lot of incumbents that are terming out, and there's probably going to be incumbents that are being voted out. Oh, Liberty's on account number 9. Yep. Yeah, he's been purged 8 times. Liberty Revolutionary on Twitter. Thankfully, I didn't get purged. I just got deactivated, and then I went through some steps, and they were able to reactivate my account. So I have no idea what happened. They didn't provide an explanation. That was the same day they took out our Discord, so I think they're linked. Guys, this is the thing. We're going up against, fascist rhinos, and they don't like us. And Democrats don't have any power to do anything to us, but the rhinos do. Yeah, Missouri proud. Hey, it's Eve. How's it going, Eve? Yep. So we continue doing what we do in Missouri. We're making progress. We're actually making a pretty big dent. Guys, you think about the stuff that, our little band of gang, our gang has done. We helped a great deal with SEPA. Let's see, we have shut down HJR 79. We got a bunch of organizations to come together for questionnaires to help root out the rhinos. I mean, we're getting a lot of really cool stuff done in the state. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
And we exposed Plocker.
Yep.
That's the big thing.
Yep. And Plocker is
Nobody
exposed.
even knew what that dude was, who he was, or what he was doing or up to. Now everyone knows.
Yeah, R.G. Merkel says, I want Blunt to vanish like a fart in the wind on the sea front property. Okay. Well, actually, he's about to do that. Didn't word that correctly. Any of the new gun infringements they pass in D.C. Going to affect Missourians in any way? The answer is no. I don't think so, except for stuff that goes through FFLs. In other words, if an 18-year-old goes to an FFL and the law is changed in D.C. that you have to be 21 to buy, a long gun, then yes. However, that 18-year-old can make a private purchase, and it would be completely legal in the state of Missouri. They just can't do it through an FFL. That's the only one I can think of directly out of the stuff that I've read in the bills they're going through in D.C. Texas always brags. They can't brag when it comes to gun rights and protections. Missouri has them beat. That is 100% correct, R.G. Merkel. And when we were getting SEPA done, Texas was all over us in our live streams, folks in Texas, saying that they had better laws. So we're about to surpass you. But they had SEPA too. They dropped their teeth in negotiations. They do have some good stuff going on in Texas, but we simply have better gun laws. There's no doubt about it. They have one up on us on a state law because noise suppressors are legal in Texas without a federal stamp. That's the only thing I can think
Like red
of.
flags are going to be legal in Texas too.
Yeah, there'll be federal money going into Texas.
We're not going to have to worry about that, are we? I don't think so.
No. No, I don't think we could do red flag laws here because of SEPA and the Fifth Amendment. So, and that's the Fifth Amendment to the Missouri Constitution is what I mean by that. Yep. Okay. All right, gang. Once again, does anyone have anything else to add or anything that we could think of that's forgotten? Entrepreneurship. Okay, hang on. Robert Smith has been putting some stuff in. Robert Smith says Hartzler voted yes on H.R. 4350, which contained red flag gun seizure language. Hartzler is a tyrant. That's the general consensus from the liberty-minded folk in the state of Missouri, is that Hartzler is a problem. Robert also says entrepreneurship. In the last few months, IRS bought ammunition, $700K. Okay, so heard of that. And let's see. I'm and tied on time. Not sure what that means, Robert. Even more reason to move to Missouri ASAP. That's one option. Another option is to try and get the stuff done in the... Well, hang on, American Patriot, you're in Maine. You got Susan Collins up there. You need to get away from her anyway. So I get it. We'd love to have you here, buddy. Missouri always has room for another patriot. Oh, LOL, that was a long time ago. Okay, gotcha. Sorry about that, buddy. Yeah, I didn't, Robert, I'm sorry. I wasn't checking on the okay. Yeah, I wasn't checking on that side. I was checking on the YouTube side. Let's see. Why is Josh Hawley endorsing Hartzler? Mary Jones, that's a very good question. And I wouldn't mind asking him that question, actually. That is surprising me as well. But I think...
surprise me none.
Well, we have to give the benefit of the doubt here. But it does lead credence to what we all think we know to be true. Josh Hawley is not what he says he is. That's what it says to us. Let's see. Archie Merkel says, I have family in southern Illinois that are pro-gun, but they refuse to move to Missouri. I just gave up. Well, they're going to lose their guns at some point in Illinois. Cook County, Illinois, has some of the strongest, most, I don't know if you want to call them debilitating gun laws in the nation. D.C. and Cook County, I think, are the two worst. Washington, D.C., District of Columbia, and Chicago. And that's where you find most of the gun crime. By the way, people point out to me all the time, I get this all the time, yeah, Pat, it's just awesome in Missouri. Your guys' gun crime is out of control. It's been climbing every single year, ever since you got constitutional concealed carry, blah, blah, blah. I know that. That is true. But where the gun crime is St. Louis, and it's gang gun crime. That's where almost all of it is, gang. If you take St. Louis out of Missouri, we are like the second or third lowest in the nation, for gun crime. It's just St. Louis, and it's gang and drug related. So the gangbangers killing each other.
Yeah, that continues to increase, but nobody wants that.
No. We don't like talking. They give the numbers, but they don't give anything else. So I don't want to talk about this on YouTube. I'm unfortunate. I'm sorry, guys. I think that's one of their red flags, is when you talk about skin color and gun crime. So I think that's one they come after. So I'm sorry about that. We're still on YouTube for now. Once we get on Odyssey, guys, we'll start covering more ground. Let's see, what are you all thinking about the Greitens? They're ranking him really bad. Dandy, I have a problem with Eric Greitens, and that's been recorded on Twitter. Greitens was against SEPA until he was for SEPA. And that was about a 24-hour period where he had a come-to-Jesus meeting with the opinion polls. He didn't like SEPA, didn't want it passed, and was outwardly speaking against SEPA, until he found out the backlash he was getting from his quote-unquote fans. And then suddenly he was for SEPA. So
No, he's not.
I don't think he is either. So I don't trust him, and I have no problem trying to debate him. I will be happy. So to actually talk to him about this, but he cut off communication with me on Twitter. He didn't ban me or anything, but he did cut off communication with me because he was talking to me for a while on Twitter.
Wouldn't surprise me if he wanted to give more power to law enforcement.
Yep, that's entirely possible. Yep.
Yeah, you think he backed 2118? I bet he didn't.
Yeah. Once again, we don't know for sure.
I don't know. Maybe he'll come on here and answer.
Yep. Yeah.
I ain't saying he did. I'm just saying.
Yep.
You know.
Eric Greitens, if you have to be watching this, please do contact us. There's several ways to do so in the comment section. We have an email address that's linked to our YouTube account. And we're on the web, with a website, and we have tons of socials. Please contact us, and let's clear up this whole thing about what you feel about SEPA and what you did originally, why you changed your mind, and let us know. The world wants to know, Eric.
Yeah, Eric. I mean, you probably got a lot of your supporters are very pro-gun, and they might not know a couple of things you did or said. You might want to come on here and clear it up.
Okay.
Would you rather they hear from you than others?
Yeah. Horse's mouth is always best, except when you need to hear from a camel. American Patriot says, I only vote for constitutional conservatives. Rhino. Fortunately, my vote doesn't seem to matter much up here. Been planning on moving to Missouri for the last 2 years, ever since Biden was selected. That would be a good move, I think, from Maine. Yeah, you got Susan Collins up there once again. I think there's a betting pool in Las Vegas, and what gender she is. He is, whatever. Let's see. I shouldn't have said that, by the way. It's a long-running joke. It's really murky here in Missouri. We need a Trump rally. Now, Dandy, let's see if Trump comes in, and let's see if Trump rally helps. So sometimes Trump can help, and sometimes he can't. I think we're doing a pretty good job in Missouri without Trump at this point in time. It's guys like us that are literally sticking to the Constitution, going after the rhinos, exposing them like we did Dean Plocker, just like KC talked about. Getting SEPA done with teeth. Shutting down HJR 79. That was going to take away any realistic goals of us ever having access to a ballot initiative ever again. Guys, we got it going on here. I mean, there's people here looking out for your freedoms. And they're working hard. Join us. Become a part of this and make Missouri the freest state of the nation. By the way, I have a joking thing going back and forth on Twitter with the Free State Project in New Hampshire. They're watching us too. They're interested in what we're doing. It's a little bit competitive right now. Now they have a little bit of a head start on us since their project is like 10 or 15 years old. Our project is technically for us about 3 years old. So they've got a few years on us, but we're gaining ground very quickly. New Hampshire, watch out. We're going to make you guys look like California someday. And we're not going to take too long doing it either. And guys, I'm not saying bad things about New Hampshire. I'm just saying this because I know they're watching and we're competitive. So that's all. Let's see. We need zero federal influence. Ganai, I agree. And in fact, we're going to work on a few bills in that regard as well. So the death of 1,000 cuts. We can call it death by 1,000 nullifications. There's lots of ways to do this. There's really tough ways to try and get done, and there's all kinds of small, simple ways to get it done, but they take longer, is all. Who does that leave us for to support, to replace Trader Blunt? Well, honest to God, Schmidt is probably the best person, I have to say. I mean,
needs to be governor.
Yeah, I would like him to stay in the state and, finish out his term as AG. In fact, if he wanted to stay in the AG's office, until he retires, I'd be happy with that as well. So, yeah, Blunt, he is so corrupt. Actually, Missouri, we didn't benefit from him, but it's K Street that's going to be hurting when Blunt leaves, I think. So they're going to have to find someone that can really control very easily and for not so much money. Once I get down to Missouri, I'm
Well,
going to
it'll be working for him, man.
yeah. Yeah, he probably will go and be a lobbyist. That's what his son did when he was
You
done being
know he's
governor.
going to.
Once I get down to Missouri, I'm going to make it my life's mission to join you guys and fight the good fight, shoulder to shoulder with you guys. American Patriot, we'd love to have you, man. That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. And we're just getting started. We're just getting started. Warrior Class says Plocker should run for Blunt's place in the U.S. Senate. I vote for him just to get him out of here. Agreed, Warrior. I mean, actually, I have the same mentality that you do. Get the bad people out of the state. Keep the good people in the state. Carl Rove and McConnell are attacking Greitens. Well, yeah, I don't know what to say because Greitens is like he's overcompensating for his mistake for not supporting SEPA with this new campaign he's on. His rhino hunting campaign. If you guys have not seen that ad, it's all over social media. You guys can go see it. Our very own Caleb Rowden called the Highway Patrol on Greitens and said because of that commercial that he made, he felt threatened. Rowden, I got to get you a Gaga. You guys know my Gaga story, don't you? I think I've told it before. When I was a kid, I had a security blanket. I called it my Gaga. And it went with me everywhere I went. And it made me feel better when I had that Gaga with me. That's what I called it because those are my first words was Gaga. So that's what my blanket was called. Rowden, Caleb Rowden, you need a Gaga. I mean, I swear, man, you need a security blanket because you're, calling the cops all the time. Someone sends you an angry tweet, you're calling the cops. Greitens makes an ad, saying he's hunting rhinos. And so you feel threatened by that. The only reason you could feel threatened by
He
that
said
is,
he feels hunted.
yeah, I think he does. I mean, I think basically what was going on is, he's like,
man.
oh, crap, I'm a rhino. I did send Caleb Rowden a tweet, and I told him, yeah, Greitens shouldn't have made an ad like that. But at the same time, if, what are we going to do about the rhinos in the state of Missouri? And Caleb Rowden has not responded to my tweet. Believe it or not. I'm such a nice guy on Twitter. People love talking to me on Twitter. Except for Greitens and Rowden, Schatz, Lincoln Huff, Carla May. Yeah, it's just those guys that don't want to talk to me.
And Dean Plocker.
And, well, actually, I don't think I tried getting him on Twitter. So Dean Plocker was by email and by phone. Yeah, but he won't talk to me either. You're right. So there's a continuity here, guys. There is a line of ascension here with people that are ideologically at odds with the Constitution that don't want to talk to me. It's interesting. Okay, we'll store that in the memory bank. We'll use that later during the campaign year. Maybe we can go visit them on some of their campaign stops. Let's see. Okay, Patriot says, hang on, RG. Hey, Voodoo Queen, LOL, red flagged. Let's see. That was a bad ad, Rhino Hunter. Yeah, actually, Mary, I saw the ad. I'm not particularly impressed with the ad, but the message was very powerful. So, hunting rhinos in Jefferson City. So, I bet that's...
Especially rhinos hunting rhinos.
Yeah, I know. And that's pretty bad. It's kind of like cannibalism. Isn't there a disease you can get from that or something? Something that affects your skin or something? I don't know. Let's see. RG Merkel says, I had a pillowcase for 30 years until it started falling apart. So, RG Merkel, you understood my Gaga story. You understood where I was coming from with that. So I think, Caleb Rowden, I think I'm going to bring him his own Gaga. Yeah, right up there to the Capitol. Brand new in the package. He's going to get a security blanket. So that way he can curl. He's got a beautiful couch in his office. KC, did you see that couch he has in his office?
Oh, I haven't.
I was sitting on it, actually, while I was talking to his LA.
Oh, wow.
It's green, if I remember right. Beautiful green couch. So that way he could curl up in the fetal position with his blanket when he feels threatened and feel better. You know?
There you go.
Okay. Let's see.
While
Trump's.
we're at it, might as well just send Huff a box of crab cakes or something.
Yep. That's right. Yeah.
Should we send Rowden a get well soon card? Because he's probably feeling a little injured or
We
something
could.
like that. Every
Sympathy
time
card, get well
yeah,
soon.
sympathy.
Yeah.
Yeah, get well soon.
Yep.
Big.
Yep.
Or we could send him a box of diapers and some bottles, or possibilities are endless with some of these folks.
Well, maybe we should send him some dry ice. Then we could pack it around himself. He's such a snowflake. We don't want him to melt, right? Yeah. We could do that too. I'm sorry, Caleb. We're just joking. We love you. You're just a little on edge sometimes and a little too quick to call the cops, a lot. Last time I called the cops because I felt threatened by a TV ad was never. So you got one on me, Caleb. Good job, Caleb. I'm talking to Caleb Rowden, not our very own Liberty Revolutionary. Paul, cheers, Pat. Don't know if I missed it or not, but red flags laws coming to Missouri with new federal laws. Actually, Paul, we covered that. That's Paul from the Talk Junkies, our very own Talk Junkies up in the Kansas City area. And Paul, yep, we don't have to worry about red flag laws in Missouri. We have protections from those with SEPA along with the Fifth Amendment to the Missouri Constitution. So I haven't dug real deep into that to actually show you guys the mechanics of it, but I feel very, very confident in telling you that I don't think there's a whole lot they can do here. Now, if federal gun laws, that's true. If they want to do state red flag laws, we still have those protections, and they have to go through the General Assembly. So at any rate, we're protected on both sides, I think. I don't see the General Assembly actually doing red flag laws. For instance, PDMP didn't get through without them saying this does not apply to guns. The Prescription Drug Monitoring Program. I can't speak tonight. I'm legally stupid. Let's see. American Patriot. First thing I noticed, the people are very kind. I'm from northern Wisconsin. Let's see. People are very, hey, Joe, that's awesome. Looking for a beautiful place. Lots of friendly, kind-hearted people. Can't wait to get there. By the way, I'm going to Travis's meeting tomorrow. For those of you who are on right now, I will be at Travis's meeting tomorrow. I did plan on that, and that's kind of the last thing I do before I take another trip and I leave the state for a while. So I will be at Travis's meeting tomorrow. I try really hard to make all of Travis's meetings. But the reason I brought that up is because of what American Patriot said. Looks like a beautiful place with lots of friendly, kind-hearted people. Can't wait to get there. And that is like going to a Travis meeting. It's just a ton of nice folks. Smart, nice, down-to-earth folks, a lot of common sense. And it's just a great place to go network. And you've been there too, Casey.
Oh, yeah.
So, Travis's meetings are just awesome. They're a long way. They're a 2-hour, 15-minute drive or something like that for me. So, yep. But I do enjoy going to those meetings, even though they are in Roby, Missouri. That's one of those towns that if you blink, you actually miss it completely when you're driving through. Okay. All right, gang. Well, I'm thinking about wrapping it up sometime soon, but if you guys have any more questions, just let me know. There was a lot of information in about the first 10 minutes of this video, so if you came in late, please do watch. And as a reminder to all of you, next Saturday we will not have a live stream. I will be out of town, but we will have another one again on July 9th. I think, let me check my dates and make sure I'm correct on that. I'm almost positive that's right. Yeah, the 9th. So on the 9th, we will have our next live stream, and we'll have a lot more information about what's going on with the questionnaires. I won't make them public yet, but I'll let you know how many we've received at that time. Basically, Gary Ride and Goatfoot Grant and Voodoo Queen have agreed to help me get out the rest of the questionnaires. There's over 1,000 questionnaires that have to go out. So I'm doing them digitally, electronically, and so that's how we're getting them out. So, and we'll be getting those back, and I got to set up the website to take those in so they can be displayed for the world to see. Hey, that looks like Joe Mama. How you doing, man? Oh, no audio. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Let me see if I can figure out why you have no audio really quickly. Let's see. Give me a second here, gang. Doc, no. Wonder what name you're going. Rusty Shackelford. Rusty. Yep, you're Trusted Plus. You do have a mic in here. So I don't have a logical explanation for that. Okay, good night, M. Hey, M. Gabriel, long time no see. How you doing? Thank you for coming in, by the way. God is definitely calling me to Missouri Ozarks. After doing all my research, it is between Missouri and Tennessee. Missouri definitely beats Tennessee. SEPA alone is a big winner. Lower taxes, too. American Patriot, I agree. I think Missouri is a better place to be than Tennessee for other reasons as well, but I won't go into that. Tennessee is a great state, just not as great as Missouri is. And we're way greater than New Hampshire, by the way. Sorry, guys. Had to throw that jab in there because, the New Hampshire Project is watching us lately. Love you guys, by the way. You guys do great work. It's just we do better work. So if you guys want to know how to make a state free, come by here, hang out with me for about 6 months, and hang out with our gang here. We'll show you how to do it. Let's see. I want to move to Florida just because it never snows there. Well, sometimes it does. That frost line's been moving a little bit. Okay. Voodoo Queen has almost half of the Senate done. Thank you very much, Voodoo. Okay, and you guys helping out with the questionnaires, you guys are gold. You guys are literally made of solid gold. Thank you. Thank you very much. I got a lot done, too. I got 60 districts done in the House so far. And I'll get even more done here real soon. And Gary Ride and Go for Grant are going to help me finish it up, I think. Okay. All right. Do you guys have anything else inside the Gilded? Okay.
I'm good.
Okay, gotcha. All right, Robert, you have anything you want to, any announcements or anything on your campaign trail or anything? Let everyone know where you're running and what district you're in and all that fun stuff, what position you're going for. Robert might be having problems with his microphone. I believe it's District 125 is Robert.
Yes, sir. That's correct. If I'm not breaking up too much.
Okay, yep. You're coming through loud and clear.
Perfect. Yeah, actually, I did a presentation today in front of a crowd on MIPA, Missouri Inflation Protection Act.
Yep.
And kind of gave a short introduction to some Austrian economics and supply, demand, currency, just general information about how the value of the dollar has gone down 70% since 1913. And that in the early 1900s, you could buy a custom Pembroke suit for 1 ounce piece of gold. And today, in 2022, you can still buy a custom Pembroke suit for about 1 ounce of gold. So gold will actually help protect us. So we've been getting the word out and getting good positive feedback.
Excellent. Good deal. So what he's basically saying is the Pembroke suit you could buy for $20 back then. And now a Pembroke suit would probably set you back about $1,700, $1,800. So holding on to that $20 for that last 100 years was a losing proposition. Holding on to cash doesn't work. So, and we'll talk more about that as soon as the primary season's over, because we're going to start hitting our gold and silver bill hard and heavy here in the state of Missouri. We have the best bill out of any state. And all we got to do is get it through the process up in Jeff City. So
Including
you guys,
New Hampshire.
Yeah, including New Hampshire. New Hampshire, you can't even hold a candle to our gold and silver bill. So, but we don't have it as law yet. So, we can't brag on it yet. We just have a better bill, way better. So, and their SEPA unfortunately missed the mark. You guys in New Hampshire, I reached out. I wanted to help you guys with your SEPA bill, but you guys lost your teeth. You guys got SEPA passed, but you have no teeth. So you kind of have it the
So
way
it's
the
not a
rest.
real SEPA.
It's not real SEPA anymore. So there's no enforcement mechanism for those who would break the law.
Please take that name off.
Yep. Let's see. Cactus says, my wife and I narrowed it down to Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, and West Virginia. Missouri won, and we purchased 6.5 acres of freedom in Shannon County earlier this year. We're in Oregon right now. Hey, that's wonderful. Shannon County, beautiful area up there, too. Beautiful, beautiful area. American Patriot says, gold, silver, and platinum are great investments to make right now. I think we'll see precious metals go through the roof within the next 10 years. Absolutely. It's going to have to because the dollar's inflating. It's definitely going to go up. So it'll maintain the purchasing power is what it'll do. And it'll probably go up significantly from there when people want out of the dollar, when people don't want to hold dollars anymore. Gold and silver should accelerate in their value. That's correct. Let's see. And let's see, American Patriot said, take care, everyone. It was great to see you guys. Hey, it's great for you guys to make the time to join us. Thank you very much for joining us. Whether or not you have been here all along helping us, with this long slog with SEPA starting back in 2019, or you just found us on the internet last week, please do pay attention to this channel, because what we're doing is we're making Missouri the best freest state in the United States, keeping in mind the Constitution of the United States, the Missouri Constitution as well, and the Declaration of Independence. That's what we go by, particularly the 10th Amendment. So the Bill of Rights as well is a very big part of it. So that's what we do. And we have a track record of success. And as soon as we get back to our website, which we haven't gotten back to in a while, we'll go ahead and put our track record on there so you guys can see what we've done. But please do pay attention to this channel. If you've not subbed and you're visiting our channel, please do sub. Please like the video. That would be really cool if you could like the video. That way it trips the algorithms on YouTube. And the YouTube gods are suddenly happy, I guess, when you like the video. And we are going to be changing some platforms in August. Could be as late as September, but I think it'll be in August. And we got a lot of stuff going on, guys. A lot of irons in the fire. We have, basically kind of dipped our toes in that tonight. Kind of let a few things out. The questionnaires coming back will be a big one, and that will be unveiled approximately July 19th. Over 1,000 questionnaires are going out to everyone running for House or Senate. So those are being sent out. We've already got a lot of them back. So if you're out there, if you're a politician in Missouri and you got one of those questionnaires and it says Missouri Freedom Initiative, that's us. We're the ones who sent them out. Lots of grassroots organizations participated in making the questions, and we all share in the knowledge we get from the returns. So it works like that. Okay, I'll leave it open, guys. Anything you guys want to say? Anything I've forgotten? Okay. All right, I'll tell you what, as always, we'll probably stay in Gilded for a few minutes here after we're done. If you guys wanted to come join us and talk to us without it being live streamed, we understand when people do that and why, and that's okay. So just so you know, we are here. All right. Once again, thank you so much for taking time out of your Saturday to join us. Thank you for joining us on our journey of making Missouri the best, freest state of the United States of America. We're actually making progress in that way, gang. And we're going to do a whole lot more next year as well. In fact, we might get a lot done during this election season, too, if things go well. You guys, may God bless each and every one of you. May God bless the wonderful, beautiful state of Missouri. Take care, gang.
Go Chiefs.